So good evening, everyone. My name is Tom Barakowski, and I'm the president of Almaty Toastmasters Club, and I'd like to call our meeting to order. So around the world, every week, there's over 10,000 clubs that meet in 120 plus countries doing basically the same thing that we do here tonight, with speeches, opportunities to give feedback, opportunities to connect with one another. Before we begin, we have a few business items to take care of. And one of those, I brought this ball because I like to play basketball, I like baseball, and so Greg wants it. So we're just going to choose a couple of people tonight. Greg is an official member of our club. Can you tell us why you enjoy Toastmasters and why you come?
Tom, I told you last week that I don't enjoy Toastmasters. Why would you ask me that question? I've been coming for many years, probably the same reason everybody else comes, that's just to try and make yourself better. It's good to meet new people as well, but primarily the main reason I come is to try to build more confidence, and I think it works, so it takes a slow process, but it definitely works, so that's what I come here for.
All right, so, thank you. Okay, who is somebody who's here tonight for the first time? Raise your hand. So we'll just choose someone way down at the end.
Good luck with that.
Let's see if I can get the ball to bounce down there. So give your name, where you work, how you heard about Toastmasters, and what you're hoping to gain from tonight.
Hello, my name is Gina. I'm here first time, and thanks Doria for this. I'm glad to see you all here. I'm from Russia. I'm 23. And I work in advertising company, what sells, so I think it's all for the first time.
So why did you come tonight? What gave you the courage to step through the door?
I have not enough English in my world, in my life, and I want to expand it. I want to know it more and more. I want to communicate to new people because I'm here not a long time. I have no enough friends, I have no enough even relatives, so I want to know more and more people. I hope that we will be friends.
All right, great. Can you pass the ball to Alia on your left? So now I have each of the officers introduce themselves, what your role is.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Almaty Toastmasters. I'm the Public Relations Officer, and my key role is to make sure people have proper understanding of what Toastmasters Club is. So if you have anyone, aside from our team leadership, that you want to turn to and you want to refer your friends to, you want to learn more about our club, have them talk to me, or any leadership.
Pass it to our next officer in line here. Who would that be? I think it's Big Zod.
Big Zod? Okay.
Let's make a pass. Alright, nice catch.
Okay, everybody, my name is Big Zod. I am Vice President of Education of this Almaty Toastmasters Club. My main duty is to make sure that we have regular meetings and that all roles are filled up, and to track the leadership and speech track. And if you have any questions, you can come and ask me.
Okay.
Normally, he's an excellent sportsman.
Normally, but not today. Hello, my name is Diaz. I am a surgeon of arms. I'm responsible for the stuff which you see on your tables. It's like pens and other signs. And I want to ask you to put your mobile phones on silent tone. You know, on iPhone it's here. And in case of a fire, follow me. I know the short road to the street.
It's not that one, by the way, it's that one.
Okay. Greg?
Okay. Alright, Greg Beaver, as I said before, I'm the treasurer of the club, so I just count the money, and you give me the money when you join and renew your fees every 6 months. And that's pretty much my role. It's one of the easiest roles.
And what happens if they don't pay their dues on time?
They don't pay their dues on time, and they don't become a member of our club again. That's all. We can't make a mistake.
Hi everyone, my name is Olga and I am VP of Membership. Since 2013, our club in Almaty became an official club. So all of you have great opportunity to open the door to your bright future of leaders. So if you have any questions, come to me.
So after the meeting, if you're new tonight and you want to be added to our email database, come see Olga and she'll put your information in your phone to send out. Well, we have another item of business before we start our regular Toastmasters meeting. Is we have someone who's applied to become an official member, and that is Tokcan Abilazan. I'm trying to say her name correctly. Can our Sergeant of Arms please escort her from the room while we have discussion? She has a worried look on her face. Don't worry. No need to worry. Yes, good. So, Toastmasters Club is not just about speaking in public, it's about learning Robert's Rules of Order, it's about learning leadership principles. It's one thing to have certain protocols for accepting members into the club, and that is they must be voted upon by the current members in order to become an official member and make application and make payment. So is there a motion to accept Tokcan?
I move to accept Tokcan as a member of our club.
All right, it's been moved to accept Tokcan Abilazan as an official member of our club. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? Now this is the time for this is official members only to have anyone say, yes, she's great. No, she's awful.
She has a great potential.
She's got great potential.
She's
Any other
friendly.
comment? She's friendly.
She's very interested and she always prepares very well.
Like she always prepares very well. That's great to
She had
hear.
an interesting icebreaker.
Okay, I didn't get to hear a chance of your icebreaker, so I'm counting on you guys.
Yeah, definitely quality work.
Quality. All right. Any
Plus, she
other?
always sits at the front, which that's a sign of a person that really, wants to.
All right. All right. Any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll now put it to a vote. All those in favor, official members only, of accepting Tokcan Abilazan as a member, please raise your right hand. Okay. All those opposed, raise your left hand. Okay. Can you please note, the secretary's not here tonight, so can you please make a note that it's been unanimous on November 11th to accept her? Sergeant Arms, can you invite Tokcan back in and invite her in, and we have a brief ceremony to induct her. So, Tokcan, would you come up here and join me, please? I'm proud to announce that we have voted upon you to become an official member. So, fellow Toastmasters, it is now our privilege to induct Tokcan as a member into the Almaty Toastmasters Club. This is an important and happy occasion for Tokcan and for our club. We now have an opportunity to help her to learn, grow, and achieve. So, as a member of the Almaty Toastmasters Club, you will benefit from a proven program of self-development. Toastmasters is a worldwide organization dedicated to helping one another in a spirit of sharing and enjoyment. So Tokcan, membership in this club and in Toastmasters International places certain obligations upon you. This means that you must, 1, work diligently toward your own self-development. 2, evaluate other speeches in a spirit of support and sharing. 3, assist the club in reaching its goals. 4, remain positive. And 5, yes, keep a smile on your face. So it's important to be positive and encouraging. That's part of our club. So Tokcan, please affirm your commitment to the Almaty Toastmasters Club by answering I will to the following statements. Do you promise to attend meetings regularly and prepare fully for each assignment?
Yes, I promise.
To apply yourself to the program outlined in the Toastmaster manuals?
I do promise.
To participate actively in our club activities?
I promise.
To evaluate others in a positive, constructive manner?
Yes, I do.
To build open, friendly relationships with your fellow members?
I promise.
And to bring other new members into the club so that they can also gain the benefits of Toastmasters?
I promise.
Okay, would the official members please stand? So, and then please recite with me the Toastmasters Club, which is on the piece of paper that you have. So we, the members of the Almaty Toastmasters Club, pledge, say it with me please, to support you in your quest for self-development, to provide you with positive, helpful evaluations, to maintain a friendly, supportive atmosphere, to give you opportunities to help others, and to make your Toastmasters membership a rewarding and fulfilling experience. So I now present you the Toastmasters membership card. And with it is the Toastmasters promise as well. Close out reverse session. Well, now it's my privilege to introduce you to our general evaluator for this evening, who will introduce to you the evaluation team. Begzad, can you introduce your team for tonight?
Okay, good evening one more time. So we're going to start. As Tom mentioned, I am the general evaluator of today's meeting, and I would like to introduce today's team, which will help us to run today's meeting. So the first person who is going to help is our counselor, who is Abay Aristan Galiyev. Would you please stand up and explain your role?
Good evening, my name is Abay. Today I will be an accountant. My role is to count the number of unnecessary sounds and words you use when you when you give speech on the stage. For example, are, you know, I mean, and so on. So at the end of the meeting, I will give a short report.
Okay, thank you. The next person is our grammarian, who is Daniel Nursita. Would you please explain your role and introduce the word of the day?
Hello everybody, my name is Daniel. Today I'm going to be the grammarian of the course. I picked the word assertions today because this word is pretty common in the speeches and you can pretty much use it in every sentence if you will. Thank you everybody.
Just one comment, Daniel. Could you please give definition in some examples how to use this word?
The word assertion means pretty much the same as the statement. So to state, to assert pretty much are the synonyms. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And the last person is a timer, who is David Mukano. Would you please explain your role as well?
Good evening everyone, my name is David Mukano. I will be a timer, so that means I will count your time. So whenever you see a green sign, means you reach the minimum limit of your speech. Whenever you see yellow sign, it means you are halfway between the minimum and the maximum range. And whenever you see red sign, it means that you reached your maximum limit, so you have to pretty much wrap up your speech. Thank you.
Okay, this is our team today, and I would like to hand over to Tom to introduce our prepared speakers.
So I would like to make note that on your agenda it says the word of the day is hard-nosed. But actually the word of the day is down below at the bottom of the agenda. I forgot to change it in here. That is my mistake. So it's not our grammarian's fault. So again, reminder, there's 3 parts to every Toastmasters meeting. Prepared speeches. We work through the Competent Communicator Manual, so which has 10 different projects that you work through. And when you finish that, you become known as a Competent Communicator. Ilyas Batir has received that accomplishment and has done very well. Others are closing in on completing all 10 projects. In addition to prepared speeches, then we have evaluations where a member of the club evaluates others. In Toastmasters, we learn by doing. So you learn by giving speeches, and it's exciting to see the progress that people make as there's changes in their lives, and they see more confidence build in the way they're able to express themselves and use words. Not only their diction, but their gestures, their phrases, their terminology. Then the third part of our meeting is table topics, which is impromptu speeches, which is always a fun and engaging opportunity for members as well as guests to join in and give a short 1 to 2 minute speech with an intro, body, and conclusion on the topic or theme of the day. Before I introduce our first speaker of the day, I'd like to have our first evaluator for project number 1 to please explain the purpose of project number 1 and the time limit of this speech. So, who's our evaluator number one?
Hi everybody, I'm Bojan again, and I want to say that today I'm gonna evaluate, and I would like to evaluate, I'm going to evaluate Asim Bigbergenova. Title of your speech is The Reason I'm Here. I will try to evaluate positively and give some comments.
And what is the purpose of this first speech, the icebreaking speech?
And her purpose is to present herself and how will she did the audience to get her know better, how she presented herself.
Okay. Thank you, evaluator. And so, I'm going to say a few words about Asim before she comes up. She's currently a student at KeyMap University. She's in her second year of studies. She enjoys coming to Toastmasters because it gives her an opportunity to develop her skills and overcome the fear of standing in front of other people. And if she can meet anyone famous, living or dead, we kind of asked this question because we're doing the theme of biographies. It would be Jackie Chan. So, because he's a hard worker, he's been successful in life, and he's a well-known, versatile person. So I'm guessing Asim is versatile herself. Her hobbies are hiking in the mountains, A+. There's lots of us in this club that like hiking. And she does do volunteer work and learning new languages. So I wish I loved learning new languages. Unfortunately, I don't. So join me in welcoming Asim as she gives her icebreaking speech, The Reason I Am Here.
So, I suppose almost all of you probably have never thought that Kimapians would come off Toastmasters Club, and however this day is today. Hello everybody, my name is Asim and I'm a Kimapian. So, the upcoming question is, who are those Kimapians? Kimapians are those people who are studying at Kimap University, and they are kindly called Kimapians. I'm 19 years old, and I was born and grown up in Aktobe city, which is located in northwest part of the Kazakhstan. I have been living there for 18 years, and I strongly associate this city with my childhood. I will explain why. The reason is that I have never had an experience of moving from one city to another, and to be narrower, I have even never moved from one house to another. My house, my room, will always remind me of those funny days, spending with my relatives and chilling out with my parents, making some birthday parties, and in addition I want to tell that I have one more hobby that is really related to my parents. I would do this hobby only in my hometown, and it is fishing with my daddy. Then Aktobe city is very beautiful city, especially in winter, when every surroundings, buildings, window sills are covered with around 20 centimeters of snow. It's incredible. Then let's talk about my university. So it was a time when I needed to finish my high school, and I passed my national test. It was a time to decide where to continue my expanding my knowledge, and I certainly decided to study at Kimap University. Now I study at Bank College of Business with a major of accounting and auditing, and finance as my minor. Now I study at my second course, and I'm really happy that only 2 years have left to get my bachelor degree. Then Kimap University gives a great and huge opportunity for every its student to expand their developing skills, and there are around 50 organizations that run by students from these organizations organize parties, convocation, commencements. Some organizations organize horror quests, or sometimes like brain rings, sport events. And personally, I have decided to be a member of Kimap Association of Sport Development.
I suppose you have heard, seen, or maybe been at Stars Night skating show, and this show is created by our organization. For those who doesn't know or who doesn't have any idea of what skating show it means, it is a competition between non-professional skaters of students from all universities in Almaty. Then I try to do volunteer work as much as I can, and try to participate in trainings, conferences. My first trainings was in Almaty. It was Association of Young Leaders. Okay. And so usually from where I take my inspiration and motivation. My best motivators are two sisters. They have achieved incredible and significant results either in career and education. Their achievements proved and pointed out all the abilities of a human being. They proved that there are no limits in the ways of getting knowledge, no limits in time, no limits about related to accessibility. There are so many universities in Almaty that can have an internet connection, or maybe at home you might just Google it, go through the Coursera and just make it online courses. Then in conclusion I want to share with you one proverb that always with me. It says, every action are steps in the right direction, and I totally agree with this statement, because in order to achieve the big goals in your life, you need to make several steps before. So I want to tell you that make your dreams come true, no matter what barriers you will face.
So thank you, Sam, for sharing with us a little bit about your life and your university. You can see that you're proud of it. You made an assertion that it's a great school, and we trust that the members of this club have asserted well that you will benefit and grow from your involvement here. Well, our speech project for our second speaker is project number 5, and can Gauhar, our evaluator, please explain the purpose of this project?
So the project number 5 is dedicated to the body speaks. It means that speaker must use his body movements, gesture, and eye contact, voice variety, which help to illustrate the meaning of his speech and to illustrate the verbal message of the speaker.
So our second speaker is someone who enjoys many things of life. She enjoys traveling, learning languages. In fact, one of her goals this year is to improve her French, so which I think is great. She's active in her workplace, active in Toastmasters. She's an officer and helps get the word out. And I think she has her speech is entitled Point of View. And I think she's got lots of opinions that she likes to share with us. I'm looking forward to hearing about it. This last week I was in Shymkent doing an EQ, Emotional Intelligence seminar. And through that we just understand how important it is to understand other people's points of view when we're communicating. And Toastmasters is about communicating, not just hearing the words, but understanding the intent behind a message. And Alia always does a great job doing that. So join me in inviting her up. If she's been inspired by others in their improvement, we'll be inspired by her.
Well, as Tom mentioned, I would like to improve my French, and just this September I went to Paris to practice some French, in fact. And I was walking up the stairs because the elevator was broken, and I had this huge bag. It was pretty light, but I was carrying it, and it looked like I was, carrying a very heavy load. And out of a sudden, somebody taps me behind the shoulder and says, "Puis-je vous aider?" Which means, "Can I help you?" Grabs my bag and just rushes off upstairs. And I'm like, "Wait a minute, that's my bag, you're stealing it." Of course, that gentleman was helping. And I forgot that Frenchmen are very, very gallant. Not to discourage our men, everybody is gallant, but I was in the mindset of independence for a very long time, maybe because of the work style, maybe because of just things I've been reading and learning, but I forgot about it. And so my point of view was that he was supposed to let me carry that bag. But as I went upstairs and, he just said, have a good day, and rushed off, and I just said, oh, thank you, and went on with my day, I was laughing at myself. I stood there and I was just laughing. That happened to me 3 times throughout my trip, so Frenchmen are indeed gallant. But what it helped me think about is that we sometimes focus so much on our differences, and I have to be independent, they should understand that, they should realize that. And one of the things that helped me recently, thanks to Tom, I've attended a seminar by John Gray, the author of Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. I'm sure you've heard about him, and he's been in Almaty this Sunday. Many lessons learned, and I was actually interested after this incident. I was just curious what exactly those differences are, and whether we should embrace them or just move our separate ways and, turn in our planets. I've learned a lot of things, and I initially went there with a very narrow mind. My mind was not open because I disagreed with a lot of his points of views, and his views. His assertions were often irritating to me simply because they focused on our differences. But I've learned a few tips. I'll share one, that you should always try to have more in your life, more success, more warmth in your relationships, but you should also remember to love what you already have. Great point, I agree with that. But overall, even the title of his book focuses on the differences between men and women. And sometimes there are cultural differences, like French men and, other men. So I thought about it for a while, and I realized, what helps us develop is actually valuing those differences. And I've also had a training that I received from Stephen Covey. I'm sure you've heard about a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of the key habits that he has that resonated with me was the listening skill. And you would think this is so easy. I mean, you learn listening as a kid. You learn how to, imitate other people. But his skill is all about how do we bring people together. That's a communication skill. The basic step in communication is listening to another person. But what's interesting is that we're so firmly tied to our points of views that it's apparently very difficult for us to hear another person, another point of view, let alone accept it. That gallant Frenchman, little did he know that I was cursing him half of the way up, thinking he's stealing my bag. But listening could be of 2 types. One is autobiographical listening, as Mr. Covey called it, and another one is called empathic listening. So apparently when you're listening from the autobiographical perspective, you make your assertions from your background, from your values, from your past. You're talking to a teenage boy and you say, hey, in my days, this is how I've done it. And the little boy is growing and he thinks, well, I want to do it differently. But you're imposing your point of view on that kid. Mr. Covey also said that insecure people either clone other people or they try to mold them into thinking their way. That's insecure people. And we don't want to be insecure, right? Or we want to grow together. So we want to learn the other point of view. We want to understand it better. There was also something he mentioned about differences between men and women, that women are better communicators. I'm sorry for squeezing it in there, but apparently that comes from anthropology, because as women had their babies, this little creature that they had in their cradle and their hands, it would keep crying and they wouldn't understand what they're saying, so there was a lot of nonverbal communication, intuitive communication that they had to develop with time. So now they know how to communicate because this baby's crying because it's hungry, it's unhappy, it's sick, while men are geared towards action, towards hunting, towards fixing things. And you know, Mr. Gray, actually, Olga was there as well, Mr. Gray said that men are like firefighters. What do they do all the day before there's fire? They do nothing. Oh wait, they watch TV, switch the channels, maybe they do some weightlifting to, you know, improve their muscles, and then there's an emergency. They pull on their firefighter pants, the firefighter hat, and off they go to save the world, to save our lives. Great job. We could listen to each other and let men be gallant, have them reach their goals, and let us have our successes at work and our successes in relationships. But the key is here that we have to listen to each other, whether it's men or women, or it's another person, or it's a child. So differences could be generational, that could be gender, they could be cross-cultural. And to conclude this very small speech about listening skills and remembering to respect the point of view of other people, this is actually Mr. Kavi's personal example that started this resonation. One day he was very tired leaving work. He boarded the metro stations, the metro train, sorry. He went into the train, he sat down very tired. He had a very busy day training other people, sharing his wisdom. Other people were reading a newspaper, reading a book. There were no iPhones or Samsung Galaxies around in his time. And out of a sudden, there comes a man with 2 kids. One is 8, one is 10. And this man is neither sad nor happy. He doesn't have an emotion. He sits down across from Mr. Kavi. And the kids start playing around very loudly, very aggressively, running around the train, disturbing other passengers. And Mr. Kavi got so angry at this man, at the father of the kids, because he was just not, paying attention to the fact that the kids are so irritatingly loud. And he said, "Excuse me, sir, could you ask your kids to calm down?" The man looks up at Mr. Kavi and he says, "Oh, I guess you're right. I should ask them to calm down, but their mother died just an hour ago and we're back from the hospital. We're going home and I guess they just don't know how to react to this tragedy. Neither can I." And you can imagine that after this, there wasn't a day where Mr. Kavi would not give another person a chance to express their point of view. So if you want to have a happier life, healthier relationships, I would encourage you to learn from these experiences and to learn to listen to another point of view, to another person's position and opinion. We can value our differences instead of rejecting them, instead of tolerating our differences. And we should always be connected to our hearts. Thank you.
Aldia is a very experienced communicator. She asserted that women are better communicators than men. And I guess that's true because tonight we have 3 speakers and they're all women. Men, step up, sign up to give a speech in the following weeks. She also asserted that we need to understand others' points of view. Well, we move on to our 3rd speaker. And can I have our 3rd evaluator explain the goal of project number 2?
The goal of project number 2 is to select appropriate outline, to make message clear, use appropriate transition when moving from one direction to another, and to have clear opening, body, and conclusion.
Thank you. And so our third and final speaker tonight is someone who's relatively new to our club, but she's already on project number 2. And I think the reason she's moving so quickly, and I asked her what her goals are in being involved in Toastmasters. She said, to be up here someday and be president of Toastmasters. So she's got ambition. I'm looking forward to handing things off someday. I thought it would be to Oya or Greg, but it might be to Jadra. She's recently read the book Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I know it's a book that's powerfully influenced my life, and it might have affected her choice of tonight for her speech title. And after her first speech, she said she felt happy that she's beginning to take steps of improvement. And I'm glad to hear that, because that's what Toastmasters is about. It's about taking little steps and improving bit by bit. We don't try and improve everything at once, but one thing at a time. So join me in welcoming Jadra as she gives her speech, The Importance of Smiling, in project number 2.
So, hello dear friends. Actually, after giving my ice-breaking speech, I thought it's going to be easy after. I will be more confident when I'll give my second speech and other speech. But believe me, it's not. I'm still nervous, but still I'm here and trying to give my project number 2. And as you know, the title of my speech is The Importance of a Smile. And I'll start my speech with asking some questions to you connected to the topic and giving some general information about smiling. Then I'll move to 5 good reasons to smile and will encourage you to smile more or start smiling. And I'll finish my speech by concluding everything I said. So, my questions are, how often do you smile in a day? Do you smile when you see your friends? Do you smile when you go to work? Do you smile when you come here to Toastmaster? Do you smile when you give your speech or when you listen to someone giving speech? If your questions are yes, well, you're on the right way and my speech will encourage you to smile even more. But if your answers are no, and if your answer is no, maybe you will try to start smiling more after my speech. So, there is a fact that we have 44 muscles on our face that allow us to make more than 5,000 facial expressions, and most of them are smile. Did you know that? I didn't know, and it surprised me a lot. And the smiling is very useful for our health, and I'll note about this in my speech later. It's very useful for our health and for our social life. So let me start providing a first reason to smile, and it's that smiling can make you happy even if you are not happy. And the thing for that is, which is scientifically proved, that our brain is connected with our body. So when we smile, impulses are sent to our brain, and this part, left cortex, is responsible for registering our happiness. And when impulses that you are happy sent to our brain starts to produce endorphins, which are responsible for happiness. And you start being happy, like, just try to smile and after 5 minutes you'll be happy, in real. So, I'm moving to point number 2. Smiling also can make others happy. And there is a song of Louis Armstrong where it said, when you are smiling, the whole world smiles you back. And it's really true. Have you ever been next to a person who is really happy, something cool, something fantastic happened to him, and it's not impossible to look at him and not to be happy? You start smiling with him, you start being happy with him, and it's proven. A lot of studies been conducted to prove that. And also, when you see someone's facial expression, your start to copy it. And if you see someone smiling, you start smile back. So, third reason to smile is that smiling makes you more attractive. And it's been proven that for opposite gender, people look more attractive when they smile. Reason number 4 to smile is that smiling can help you to distress. And how it helps? Again, remember that our mind is connected with our body, and when you start smiling, these impulses will help you to reduce the symptoms which are associated with anxiety. So when smile signals come to your brain, you start feeling happy again. And it's very important to reduce stress. And last reason to smile is that smile can lead you to a laugher. And have you ever laughed without smiling? And when you are smiling with your friends, it can contribute to a hysterical laugh even. And know the point that when we laugh, it works as a mini workout, and our abs work, and also we lose calories. So mention that, girls. And so I want to finish my speech since it's already time to finish. In conclusion, I want to say that some of you may think it's impossible to be laughing all the time, to smile. Yes, I agree with you. We can look foolish, or we can look not serious maybe. I want you to be really smart and use the power of smile when you really need it. Again, please be smart, and now it's really time to smile back, because I'm after giving my speech, I'm nervous. So thank you very much, and I encourage you to smile more.
Yes, it is good to smile. You made that very strong assertion. So she made such a strong assertion, in fact, we're going to act on that advice right now. So what I want you to do is you're going to turn to the person next to you, just in twos, and we want you to smile at each other. And if one person smiles, see if the other person can frown. If one person smiles, it's really hard for the other person to keep a sad face. So choose one of you, so to be the frowner, one to be the smiler, and see who can make the other smile or the other frown first. It's just a short contest. So go, find your partner right now. You should be paired up. Come on, frown, smile, see who wins. I already won.
Just smile.
Good. Alright. So, what your next task is to do, something that we do occasionally, you have the little pieces of green paper in front of you to vote for the best speaker before we bring the evaluators up. So, but before you vote, what we want you to do is communicate with the person next to you and say why you think this person is the best speaker. The other person can agree with you, or they can make an assertion that they think someone else is a better speaker and see if they can convince you. Then you'll vote, and we'll turn these in. So you have 1 minute to talk with each other and to make your votes. So remember, you have the speakers tonight were Asiem, Aliyah, and Jadra. So make your vote, and then pass them up towards the front.
Shadra's speech was interesting,
All right, please take your vote, write on a piece of paper and pass it up. Pass them up front, towards the front. So please pass them up front, and then we'll call for our first official evaluator to come up. So again, just a reminder, if you're for official members, you have these forms, so you can make comments on the speakers, the agenda evaluator, the topic master, etc. yourself, so don't forget to do that. So, in Toastmasters, you learn by doing. You learn by giving a speech, you also learn by signing up to evaluate someone. And sometimes it's a tricky thing to want to give people feedback and receive another person's point of view. But feedback's a very important part of the process, understanding how your speech affected someone in the audience. So our first evaluator tonight is someone who's a brand new member to our club. So join me in welcoming Toljana to evaluate Asana's speech.
Hi everybody again. Now I would like to evaluate Asiam's speech. She gave us a ice-breaking speech. I think she was quite prepared. I think her specific topic was about Kinepian, yes, more specifically. And I felt that she got attention at the beginning, and self-confidence was nice. Furthermore, I think she introduced herself fully, as much as possible. She does mention her motivation word, which was interesting at the end of the speech. And you rehosted your speech, and I think you was training how to give a speech, so it was very nice. I think that she also introduced her identity clearly and continuing with her university. And in my opinion, she matched our audience. What about, did the speech have a definite opening, body and conclusion? Probably you did that, but I suggest you to maybe to look through the public speaking tools, for example, fluctuation, voice, and to be more emotional. And for example, Shadra said to smile, to enjoy, because you are the person who is giving a speech, and you need to feel as a boss, because you can use this space as much as you want. So, using that tools, I think your speech will become spectacular, and I'm looking forward to hear it.
Thank you, Toljana. So our evaluator number 2 today is Gahar evaluating Alia Shaikina's speech. So join me in welcoming Gahar.
It's really a very big pleasure to be an evaluator of Alia Shaikina, and her speech was dedicated to the point of view. The topic selection was very good. She has a very good topic which has a relation to every one of us who is sitting in this audience. The preparation was excellent, and about the posture, it was very open. She hasn't any negative gestures such like this with arms or legs, and about the gestures, it was understandably and helped to illustrate the verbal message, helped to understand the meaning of the speech. Eye contact. She tried to embrace the whole audience, not looking into the tails or under the legs. And also, the speech organization was logical, clear, speech purpose also. And actually, I must notice that I really love her speech. It's really unique, and she can do it. I mean, she she has very good ability to speak very good speeches with deeply meaning, and it's like reading very good, interesting book. When you have already read it and you want to feel these feelings again and again. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Gahar, for sharing your evaluation. Our third and final evaluator tonight will be Oli Kim, evaluating Jader's speech.
Jader, first of all, I would like to thank you so much for presenting here tonight project number 2. And I'm sure, I felt that you did a great job. First of all, the goal of your project number 2 is to make listeners to get the point of view. So you did a great job, as I understood, and as all we did. The goal of your speech was to make people smile more. As for me, I'm a smiling person, and your topic was close to me a lot. You choose an interesting topic, and it was meaningful for audience. You did great research, since you mentioned several facts. For example, that in our face there are 40 and more muscles. Yeah, and we are able to provide the world with 500 of mimic opportunities. Yeah. Oh, 1,000. I'm sorry. You organize speech in logical and clear way. The opening of your speech led into the topic smoothly. Body flowed also smoothly. You didn't use support materials, but you did a research. And while you mentioned the facts, it made us understand that you did some research. Conclusion was effective. So you did a great job. What I would like you to do in different way, maybe next speech. First of all, when you ask questions, maybe you can provide audience. Maybe you can provide audience with teeny pause, so audience can answer to your questions in their minds. Also, it will involve some intrigue. Yeah. I think another point, you don't need to follow your time, because as I saw it's second time, and you provide speech here and you follow your time, but we have a timer, so you don't need, because it distracts your attention. Instead of that, try to use more eye contact with the audience. What I really liked in your second speech, and also in the first speech, your voice is loud enough, and your presenting here is quite confident. So thank you, Jodera, for your great.
Thank you, Oya, for your feedback and good things for us all to remember. Now I'd like to turn over to our table topic master for the evening. We've been doing a few more biographies, and tonight's person is Tim Ferriss. So join me in welcoming Ilyas Batirov as he leads us in table topics.
Hello guys, how are you today? Great? Okay, hello. I want to ask you, who want to be the most productive human being on the planet? Please raise hand. 2 or 3. Most productive, most efficient human being. Who wants?
Second most.
Okay. Have you heard about one of the most productive, most efficient guy in the world? Tim Ferriss? No? You want to be most efficient, most effective, but you don't know Tim Ferriss. And it's silly, because I really wanted to be also like one of like more efficient, more productive, and so on. And I started to search for some human that I know that if someone can, I also can do this. And I found the guy, his name Tim Ferriss, and I want to just say like a few words about him. He is American writer, entrepreneur, angel investor, and public speaker. Princeton University guest lecturer in high-tech entrepreneurship and electrical engineering. Speaker of 5 languages. First American in history to hold a Guinness World Record in tango. National Chinese kickboxing champion, and so on. Okay. And my first question is about like he do this because of some tips. One of them, he don't read any news and he use the Pareto's law. Like he do only efficient things. And my first questions to you is, do you have any tips which help you be more productive, more efficient in any sphere, maybe in language learning, in housekeeping and so on? Do you have any tips? Any volunteers? Okay, Dr. Jan, maybe let's ask Ayim. Okay. What tips do you have which help you be more effective?
Well, I will already give 5 speeches, and most of them are just related to the devices, like how do I do some certain things, like about learning languages, I taught about that, about house cleaning, I've taught about that, about cooking, I've taught about that. Well, if you ask me about like how do I delegate my time, I think a very important thing to go to sleep very early, so that in the morning you can dedicate your time for reading. I read every day in the morning. It sounds a bit crazy, but I do that. I wake up in the morning about 3 o'clock, or 5:30, or at 6 o'clock. Then I do have my breakfast, I do my makeup, getting my clothes done, and have 1 hour from 7 to 8 till 8. I read a book, so you know, because it's a good start of the day, because you are so inspired inside, you are so happy to go to your work, to your study, or whatever you are going, and it really helps to feel yourself really good. So I think it's important just to go early and wake up in the morning very early, and you don't feel yourself like low, you don't feel yourself like sleepy, and yeah, I think this is just one tip from me.
My next question is, as I told, he has like very diverse road of the experience, starting from the teaching and researching and ending with the breakdancing on MTV, and he was an actor in Chinese movies. He world champion in the kickboxing, he's a good swimmer, speaker, investor, and my question is, some people believe that we should find our only one way and put all energy in this way. But in this example, like Tim Ferriss showed us that you can achieve a lot of things in different spheres. And what do you think? Is it good to put your all energy in one direction or diverse it? What do you think? Okay. Any volunteers? Oh, great.
That's a very interesting question. I absolutely agree, because we are interested in every field. It doesn't matter if you prefer medical or environment or some science. So main point is to understand how you are going to do it. So it doesn't matter if you put 100 or 200% of your strength to doing one thing, and maybe one thing in one life, it's boring. I apologize for that, but it's really boring. You have to try to be like a sportsman. It's just in my opinion. To be like an artist. Because everyone is artist. We are playing our own role in our life. So it doesn't matter, okay. And the thing, you can understand when you're visiting some libraries, you can see a lot of books. All these books was wrote or written by enthusiasms with inspiration, and this means that you have to try in every way. So just imagine you're going this way, and you can prefer go to right, go to left, or maybe go to left, go to right. And this is really interesting. It's up to you. And maybe boring people prefer one way, excited people prefer two ways, and very emotional people prefer everywhere. Thank you very much. Okay, please.
Is this Tim Ferriss, yeah?
Yes, Tim Ferriss.
Does he really exist, this guy?
Yes, really exists.
I asked that question because I knew that I was going to be selected today to ask a question on table topic. So I was Googling it when our speakers were speaking, about Tim Ferriss, so I could have a head start on who he was. But there was 3 Tim Ferrisses in Wikipedia.
Yes.
One of them was some B-grade actor from Australia.
One singer.
One singer, and there's some other guy that doesn't sound like your guy. So I wonder who this guy is, But anyway, let's assume that he does exist. I think he must be Superman, because nobody can do all this stuff and be great at it. It's impossible. I mean, well, I think it's impossible. We have a saying in Australia, and that is, you're a jack of all trades or a master of none. And jack of all trades means someone that can do a bit of everything, yeah? Like, I think in Russian the saying is, if someone has zolotoy ruki or something like that, yeah? Yeah? Some guy that can fix under the sink and then he can put the antenna on and that, but really he's okay, but he's not an expert, yeah? So I think the only way we can if you want to get somewhere in life, you have to have one task and then make sure you do a great job of that, and only once you've done that, then you should maybe think about a second one or a third one, yeah? But, I mean, this 20 different things and expert and all, I think he's full of shit, really.
Yes, actually, half of your words is true. Because what does experts mean? Tim Ferriss says, experts is not mean that you know everything. Experts, it's meaning that everything that you experts, and you know a little bit than other people, what they don't know. And actually, how he became the kickboxing champion, world champion? He didn't go to the trainings for like 5-10 years, but he beat like people who training for like 15 years, world champions. And what he did, he read in the rules that they should weigh their how much the kilograms is weight before one day, and he dehydrate his body and lost like 20 kilograms and use anabolics, and it means his weight is 80 kilograms and he compete with guys who is 60 kilograms at first one, and then he read in the rules that he can win them, just put them away from the ring. And he just come like dehydrating himself. On next day he start to drink and eat, and he became like 20 kilograms more than other people. And he just started to pull them from the ring. And he won world championship, Yes, it's not fair at all that people like doing like 15 years and some American come to them and say it's not fair. Yes, but in his book he wrote these tips how we can hack the life. It's not myth and we should do, and we should not we should obey rules, but we can circumvent it. Обойти. Okay? It's a new word for me also. And I want to ask you, did you circumvent rules in your life? And why and how? Not break the rules, but do something.
Cheating, yes.
Yes. Maybe Daniel, you do. Okay. Okay. Daniel, first one. Please, if you want to ask, try to be quicker.
First thing I want to speak about is about the pushing out of the ring thing. I think it's not more like kickboxing, it's more like sumo or something. So I don't think it's great point of speaking about is a great fighter. So, and what was the word you used?
Circumvent.
Circumvent?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I tried to circumvent some rules in my life and then ended up really bad. So I now strongly believe that the rules are made for the people and people should follow them as long as they want to play fair. So the fairness is a thing that people value, and they don't value the guys who don't follow the rules. Maybe if you change the game and the game is going to be with the rules which you made, that is going to be a different thing. But you don't break the rules. So the word you used is another way of saying to break the rules. Actually, you don't fight somebody who is 20 kilo lighter than you and then call yourself a world champion. It's not how it works. Yeah, that's all.
Anyway, you circumvent. Elmira?
Yes.
Okay. Are you one? Okay, Elmira was second one.
So I'm gonna tell you a real story of mine, but please don't tell it to other people. So
It will be on YouTube.
no, it's a real story. So maybe more than 5 years ago, I knew that I'm just waiting a baby, and that time my husband. Her husband was going to go to US for Muskie program, and the day he know it, so this is what was the day I knew that I'm how can I say pregnant. Yes, I forgot this one. So he moved to US, and I have only one just way to go there, just to get visa, and. It was really difficult to get this visa, and I would circumvent the rules. So I went to the US embassy, and I didn't tell anything that I'm pregnant. And it was unbelievable because my tummy was like this. I was in the 6 or 7 months of my pregnancy, and I was pretending that everything is good, and I'm just sporty, just a little bit fat girl. It's okay, and I didn't mention in the document, and also I didn't tell. And thanks God, I got my visa, and I went to the US. And then the second moment when I just thanks God, I gave a birth to my baby, and there was the time just how to get a passport. American passport, and as you know, it is restricted. It is restricted to have a dual passport. I mean, of Kazakhstan and also of America. So first I got my American passport to my baby, and then I went to the my just how can I say Kazakh office. Yes, and I got also Kazakh passport. So now my baby has 2 passports, but please don't tell anybody because it's restricted. So I mean, sometimes we just should do something circumvent because you have a goal, and sometimes it's needed and it's work.
Okay, great. Thank you for fairness. You did pretty well today, you sharing with us. And my next question. Tim Ferriss had the assertions that working in office is not good, like from 9 to 6 o'clock. But when he wrote in his book these assertions, some more people gave him criticized him. And I want to ask you, who is working in office? Please raise hand from 9 to 6. Not a lot of people, you know. Actually, other entrepreneurs, yes. Okay. Okay, and imagine that your employee, your boss and your employee or your best friend want to leave the stable job, the work office, and you have to change his mind because he want to make startup, and you have to change his mind that he stay in the office. And what will you say to him or to her? Okay, any volunteers? Go hard.
So I have to defend the proper 9 to 6 hours?
Yes, defend.
Yeah, I think that would be quite easy because that's what I think. I'm all about discipline, so I think people should not be late to the office. They should work, not browsing the internet. And I think those rules are made for a reason because we all know what we do, when we have a spare time. We all wake up very late, we don't do anything. Well, that's what I do. And during weekends, I'm super unproductive, unlike this Superman, what's his name? Tim Ferriss. Well, I don't think many people are like him. So we spend an awfully lot of time doing unnecessary things, eating, especially when you're at home. Like, I think a lot of I don't know, maybe that's not true, but I think a lot of freelance people, they don't really work because they keep procrastinating a lot. They think about what they're planning to do. I don't know, maybe it depends on the motivation or inspiration. Sometimes working proper, 8 hours a day is not productive because it's not about how many hours you do, it's about the quality of the work that you do. But I think it might help if you're in an office because the rules, the proper environment, it helps you to, just to get going. Because when you're at home or in a cafe or somewhere else, maybe you keep being distracted by many things. That, at least for me, because I remember when I was working long hours, and when I had some spare time, sometimes I actually came to the office just to read and to do the things I wanted to do, because sometimes I can't even read at home because I feel distracted. There's my parents, or the food, the fridge, so many things. So, work in the office.
Okay, great. Well, very productive in office, Okay, and my last question. According to Tim Ferriss, he said that people start to hate their lives because they betray their dreams. And because when you're 5 years old and your mother and father ask you, what do you do, what you want to do with your life, and you say, I want to be an astronaut, or like singer, or like teacher, something like this, they say, okay, great. But when you are 25 years old, and you say, I want to be astronaut, or like something like, some teacher in school, I don't know. And they say, no, go become a lawyer, or accountant, or go to the oil and gas field, like in my case. And I want to just ask the last question. Just imagine that you, what will you do in next 12 months if failed is not an option, it's impossible. You will succeed in any way, Everything what you start to do, you will succeed. What will you do in next 12 months? Okay, this guy.
So, when I was a little kid, my dream was to be a scientist. But then, when I became older, and when I was 20 and not 20, 80 years old, and it was time to choose my future profession, I decided to be a farmer. And it was my dream to grow up the agriculture agricultural sphere of Kazakhstan. So I said to my parents that I want to go by Bolashak program to US and to study on farming. They just, as Elias said, they just laughed at my dream and said it is unreal, and you should take more, you should choose more practical profession. Yes, profession. So what was the question?
What will you do if the fail is
yes,
not an option?
If I wouldn't fail at all at any goal, I would prefer to make this dream come true, and I'll become a rich guy here in Kazakhstan.
Actually, it's a good place to share your thoughts, share your dreams, because anywhere people will clap you, you know? And it's great. And I just want to ask, like, my friend, the same question, Jean Saya. Come here and please tell us what will you do in the next 12 months? Fail is not an option.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Junsaya. So about my plans, I hope that next, like how much months did you say?
12.
12. Okay, like in these 12 months, I will be the best marketer and the best businesswoman who will work not only for entrepreneurs, but for like I will have the social business that will help not only for people who need like some business stuff, but in our social life. So what about I hope that every person has in their organism, in their body, all resources that we can use and we can achieve our goals. So I want to tell you guys, so I'm very happy that I'm here because as Elias said, we should do the things that we want to do. And my goal for this week was really to come here. And I'm really happy that I'm here, and I hope that I will join your Toastmasters Club.
And I want to end with the quote of Tim Ferriss. He says that to complete unreal thing is easier than real, because unreal thing give you a power and energy, and go to your dream.
Thank you, Elias. I always appreciate he brings lots of energy and creative thinking to table topics. Well, now it's your turn to vote for the best table topic speaker. As I call your name, please stand up briefly so we remember who you are. Can you stand up? This was our first speaker. Ablai was our second speaker. Ablai, can you stand up? Ablai, stand up. Great. Greg, speaker number 3. Number 4 was Danielle. Number 5 was Elmira. Where's Elmira? Right there. Number 6 is Gauhar. Stand up, please. Number 7, Darren. And number 8, John Saya. All right, so vote for who you think the best table topic speaker was this evening. So remember, as you vote, think who had clear communication, who smiled well, who had positive energy, who encouraged you, who inspired you, who motivated you, who made assertions that convinced you that they are an awesome, incredible, amazing speaker, such that you want to come back here every week because you don't want to miss out on the opportunity to be inspired by them. Okay, so please vote. Pass your votes up. As you're passing the votes up, I'd like to call on our general evaluator, Big Zod, to come up and lead his team in the evaluation period.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll continue, guys. So now I would like to invite our reporters to give the short reports regarding today's meeting in terms of time, frame, grammar, and word filler. So the first person who I would like to invite is our cantor, Abay Arslan Galiyev. Please help me welcome him one more time.
Dear Toastmasters and guests, here my short report. The first speaker was Asiem. Asiem, you 3 times used A, 3 times AM, and 1 so. Aliyah, 7 times A. Where is Aliyah? Sorry. Aliyah. Well, 11 AM, and you know, your speech was excellent, but you have a lot of this unnecessary. And Jadra, you, yes. Jadra, yes, oh, I'm sorry. Jadra, you used 7 times AM and 3 so. Tokjan, you was an evaluator, and you used 6 times M and 1 A. Gauhar, hello, you have used 4 times A and 4 times M. Olga, 6A, 4M. And about our tabletop speakers, I am 3 AM and 1 well. Ablai, 2A. Daniar, 1M. Elmira, A, 1A, so, and 2A. 3A, 1 so. And Jansaya, you have used 4 times M. Okay, thank you very much. So we will continue. So now I would like to invite our grammarian, who is Raniar Nusita. Please help me welcome.
So, speaker number 1 was Asiem. Asiem was speaking too quiet, so some things I couldn't hear really well. So she used is very beautiful city about saying about Aktobe. So she has to say is a very beautiful with a name, and she was talking about universities, and universities is plural. So you have to use not that can, but which can or that can. So, speaker number 2, Aliyah. She had no grammar mistakes either. She had no pronunciation mistakes. Speaker number 3, Jadra. She used some phrase like happy and real. So I couldn't really understand what did she mean. And she said the word allow as allow. So which is pronunciation is not correct. And she was saying some sentence and did double negative assertion, not impossible, so which doesn't make sense. And she mispronounced the word scientifically. She said something different. I can't remember really how she pronounced it. Ilyas, he used the phrase before 1 day when he meant 1 day in advance, really. So you don't say before 1 day. And others are entrepreneurs. That's what you mean. But you say other entrepreneurs, like saying about all the rest of the people. You meant that the rest of them are entrepreneurs. You say other entrepreneurs. You don't say that. Ayim, she made no mistakes. Ablai mispronounced the word trend. He said something like strange, I don't know. So when he was talking about the percentage, Craig, I'm not gonna talk about Craig because he's a fluent speaker, right? What was the last thing you said?
Okay. I said thank you.
Okay. Because then it comes me, but I'm not gonna talk nothing about me. Okay, Elmira, she meant just one way, but she said one just way, so she put the words in different order, in the not correct order. Then comes Gauhar, she made no mistakes. Then comes Dorian.
grow up agriculture. Grow agriculture, not grow up. Okay, and then comes, and also Dorian said to study on farmer. You don't use that expression in English, you study farming or something, yeah. Then comes Jansaya, how much month? So, how many months, not how much month. Okay. The old resources. I don't know if you can say so. The old resources? All the resources.
All the resources.
Yeah, so the order of the words is incorrect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, and I would like to invite the last reporter, Davlet Mukhanov, with his time report. Please help me welcome him.
So our meeting started at 7:40, so it was a bit late. So the first speaker was Asem Begbergenova, 5 minutes 33 seconds, so it's over time. Second was Aliya Shaikina, 9 minutes 51 seconds out of 7. The third was Jadra Sekrekova, 5 minutes 45 seconds out of 5. Actually, evaluators were pretty much on time. First was Tokjan, 1 minute 45 seconds. Gauhar, 1 minute 43 seconds out of 3, so a bit under time. Speech evaluator number 3, Jadra, 3 minutes 7 seconds. Olga, I'm sorry. Olga, 3 minutes 7 seconds, so excellent job. Table topic master introduction, 1 minute 56 seconds, so it's good. First speaker, Aim, 1 minute 40 seconds out of 2. Second speaker, Ablai, 1 minute 16 seconds, a bit under time. Greg, 1 minute 32 seconds. Danyar, 1 minute 8 seconds. Ilmira, 2 minute 55 seconds, way over time. Gauhar, 2 minutes 20 seconds. Daurian, 1 minute 28 seconds. Jansaya, 1 minute 30 seconds. Counter, Abai, 2 minutes 15 seconds out of 3. And grammarian Danyar, 3 minutes 16 seconds out of 3. Thank you very much. And me, Daulet, 1 minute 51 seconds out of 3.
Okay, thank you very much. As I'm a general evaluator, I would like to give a brief general evaluation about today's meeting. So it will take several minutes. So in general, I liked and enjoyed today's meeting. We had all roles filled up and everybody showed up. That's very good. Thanks for our Toastmaster to lead the meeting in a very interesting way. Speakers were really quiet, prepared, well prepared, and evaluators also did a good job. But I would recommend to evaluate next time whoever is going to be evaluator to look through the aim of the speech in detail and to get ready, and whenever that person is asked to stand up and explain the aim and the speech, so that person could give precise in detailed information what to expect from the speaker. Regarding reporters, thank you very much again for Abai to be our counter, Danyar for an interesting and concise report regarding grammar problems, and thank you very much Davlet for volunteering to be on a timer. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you all enjoyed today's meeting and you will come next time. And I would like to hand over to our Toastmaster today.
Thank you, Begzad. Yeah, so Toastmasters is a lot about evaluating not just the speeches, but the meeting as itself, because that's how we improve, getting feedback in a positive light. Before we adjourn our meeting, I need to make a couple of announcements. So before we announce the best speakers, Begzad, you had a quick announcement you wanted to make about our club?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget, there's a quick announcement regarding a club. So somebody knows that I work in a language school, not far from here, and we have recently launched a club, conversation club, twice a month on Saturdays at 11:30 for adults and for upper intermediate up levels. The moderator of the club is me and our teacher, Katie Piller from Harvard University, and we together lead this club. It lasts 60 minutes, and we discuss, current very interesting issues. So you don't know in advance what is the topic about. Once you come, we introduce the topic, and we give short material regarding these topics, and you read this information, then we start discussing. It's not debate, it's not English club, it's the place where you sit around and discuss, give your opinions, share your opinions, and of course everybody has different opinions, so it's very interesting, and if you're interested you can come to me after the meeting. I will give you detailed information, you can join and continue improving your speech not only here but in our center as well. Thank you very much.
So a reminder too, if you want to be added to the database, come see Olga afterwards. Also, if you're interested in membership, you can come talk to her, any of the officers, about the process. We're also, one of the things we're thinking of doing is we do social events from time to time. We go see movies, we go hiking. I know Delet's interested in trying to organize a hike. So we'll communicate that either by Facebook or email and letting people know about upcoming events like that. Facebook, mostly. Check it out on Facebook. I'm not yet on Facebook. I feel like I'm living in the Stone Ages. But now it's time to announce the winners. Our best speaker tonight for prepared speeches is one Alya Shaikina. With those gallant Frenchmen. It was a very close vote for best table topic speaker, so we have dual winners tonight. That would be Ablai and John Sayar. So the speakers for our winners for the speeching. I can't talk. Good thing the grammarian's already done with his job. We'd like to get a photo of the best speakers for prepared speaker as well as table topics before you leave tonight. The next thing that we need to do, because we put it on our website, and so people can see that. For next week, we already have speakers lined up, and I want to confirm with those that are here. Alyona, one of the backup speakers, Alyona here tonight?
She's not here.
She's not here, because we'll confirm with her. Ein, you signed up for speech? Next week, right?
After 2 weeks. I'm not ready for the next week.
Okay, so Greg, you want to go next week?
Toastmasters.
Oh, you're Toastmasters. Well, I'll go next week then. Okay.
You can do Toastmasters.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We'll figure it out. Okay, so I'm is the following week. Arai Lim signed up for next week. Is Arai Lim here? She want to do icebreaker. And then Yadi Carr is doing project 10. So is Janar here? She signed up for 2 weeks. Is there Janar? Janar. Okay. So so let's go here. Is there anyone that, in case these people can't go, would like to do an icebreaking speech for next week? Some people signed up 2 weeks ago. Would anyone be interested in an icebreaking speech or other speech next week? Okay. We need. We have the table topic masters will be Olya and Alya together. We need is Rapia here? You agreed to be grammarian next week, so we have our grammarian there. And can you come check with me, make sure I got your information right, your email and phone number afterwards? Who would like to be our counter or timer? Our counter for John. How about timer? Who'd like to be timer next week? So if you want to become an official member, you always have to give your icebreaking speech first and take one role before you can think about joining the club. But you're always welcome to come as guest. Anyone to be timer? Gauhar? Okay.
No, so I put a hand up.
Gauhar had her hand over.
Yes.
They're going to duke it out. So, okay, but we need evaluators. Evaluators are the key thing. So, actually, I put myself. So we got evaluators. So I'm will be an evaluator. So I'm Begzad. Okay. We also need a general evaluator. So Jadra will be general evaluator. Okay. So we have, and Mara, you're on the backup. Okay. If I move up to speaking. All right, with that, I'd like to adjourn our meeting for tonight. Thank you.